America wakes up with Skin Bracer.
Teen boys in the 1970s didn't need designer wardrobes or expensive gadgets to stand out. Usually it was something smaller. A jacket, a smell, a haircut, a pair of jeans worn exactly the right way. Most boys acted like they weren't trying at all, but girls noticed. Number 1. Levi's 501s. These weren't just jeans, they were the jeans. Levi's 501s had a way of making even an ordinary guy look a little cooler the second he put them on. Worn in denim, perfect fit.
Good morning, world. Good morning to you. I'm wearing my Levi's. Levi's.
Slightly faded in all the right places, they looked effortless even when boys cared very much about how they looked in them. Girls noticed the confidence that came with them too.
There was a stranger who came into our town. He was tall and had eyes that could look right to the bottom of you. We might have welcomed him except for one thing: his pants. They weren't dull like ours, and this troubled us.
A guy in Levi's looked comfortable in his own skin, like he understood what worked without needing attention drawn to it. And somehow, no matter what decade you're talking about, that always gets noticed. Number 2. A concert t-shirt. A concert shirt instantly gave a guy a story before he even opened his mouth. Maybe he really went to the concert. Maybe he borrowed the shirt from an older brother. Maybe he wore it constantly because it made him feel cooler than he actually was. Didn't matter. The second a girl recognized the band on the shirt, there was already something to talk about. Music mattered in the 1970s, and a concert tee suggested taste, personality, and just enough rebellion to be interesting. Plus, old concert shirts always looked better, slightly faded and overworn. That was part of the appeal. Number 3. Brut, or English leather.
Once I hurt my knee trying to make a tackle that a lot of people thought I shouldn't have been trying to make. Well, let me tell you, if you put that uniform on, you're supposed to be a football player, and you've got to be ready to go all the way. That's just the way I am. I guess that's why I use Brut. I like the smell. I like the way it works.
Teen boys in the 1970s discovered aftershave and immediately used too much of it.
I think women are becoming a little more frightening to men these days. Maybe because we're freer to do much more. But some men aren't intimidated at all. They enjoy our freedom. Those are the men I like. And you know, those are the men who wear English leather cologne. English leather fits the way they live. It's so clean and natural.
Brut and English leather were everywhere. Drugstore scents trying very hard to smell masculine, sophisticated, and grown up. And somehow they worked. Girls noticed these smells long before boys realized they did.
I'm more effective than you and you.
These days you hear a lot of comparisons among antiperspirants, but no antiperspirant or deodorant compares with Brut 33, because only Brut 33 gives you effective and long-lasting protection, plus the great smell of Brut.
One splash after gym class, before a date, or before school, and suddenly the hallway smelled like somebody was attempting adulthood. It was strong, slightly dramatic, completely unforgettable. And for a lot of people, those scents still smell exactly like teenage boys in the 1970s. Number 4. Adidas sneakers.
Adidas believes in you. Oh yeah. Adidas believes in you. Believe in you.
Not every guy had Adidas, which is exactly why they mattered. Those stripes instantly stood out in school hallways, gym class, parking lots, and basketball courts. Adidas looked athletic without trying too hard, stylish without looking flashy, and somehow more confident than regular sneakers. A guy wearing them looked current, like he paid attention. And girls absolutely noticed who had the good sneakers, even if nobody said it out loud. Number 5. A Timex watch.
Now Timex lets her have a whole wardrobe of watches. For instance, this little water-resistant Timex for only $12.95. Or for the boutique look, this beautiful, bold sport Timex, only $11.95.
There was something quietly grown-up about a boy wearing a watch in the 1970s, especially a Timex. It wasn't flashy or complicated. It just suggested responsibility, confidence, and the idea that he was becoming a man, whether he realized it or not.
This is a Timex for men. Waterproof. Shockproof. And utterly reliable.
Pulling back a jacket sleeve to check the time somehow looked more mature than it probably should have. And unlike trends that came and went quickly, a watch felt permanent, steady, reliable. If this brought back memories you hadn't thought about in years, make sure you subscribe here on YouTube and follow me on Facebook. I post new videos like this every week, and there's always something that takes you right back. Number 6. A varsity jacket or team jacket. This one barely needs explanation. A varsity jacket instantly changed how a guy looked walking through school. It gave him presence before he said a word. The school colors, the patches, the worn sleeves, everything about it carried status. Even girls who didn't care about sports noticed the jacket, because it wasn't only about athletics anymore. It represented belonging, visibility, confidence, and social gravity all wrapped into one piece of clothing. And once the weather got colder, those jackets suddenly became even more important. Number 7. A pack of Wrigley's gum.
A double pleasure's waiting for you. A double pleasure from Double Mint Gum. A double great feeling, making you realize Double is the one for you.
This sounds small until you remember how often gum became part of social life. A guy casually pulling out a pack of Wrigley's gum and offering pieces around carried a strange amount of confidence.
Carry the big fresh flavor. Wherever you go, whatever you do, it's the finest pack of flavor. Wherever you go, whatever you do.
Flavor this big shouldn't be left behind.
It gave people a reason to gather around, start conversations, linger nearby a little longer. And somehow the guy with gum always seemed relaxed, prepared, like he understood how social moments worked. Tiny item, huge effect. Number 8. A feathered haircut or long sideburns. Not technically an object, but impossible to leave out. The feathered haircut, the long sideburns, the carefully shaped hair that looked effortless while taking very obvious effort, this was peak 1970s teen boy style. Inspired by athletes, rock stars, and television personalities, it became the look almost everybody wanted at some point. Girls noticed it instantly, especially when a guy flipped the hair back, brushed it out of his eyes, or leaned against something pretending he hadn't spent half an hour getting it to fall exactly that way. The hair mattered. Everybody knew it. Number 9. Skin bracer or Aqua Velva.
Out of the blue comes the ice blue freshness of Aqua Velva. Out of the blue comes the Aqua Velva man. Looking for the light scent, the clean scent, the fresh scent that comes from out of the blue.
Some aftershaves announced themselves before the guy even walked fully into the room. Skin Bracer and Aqua Velva had that icy clean, sharp smell that instantly screamed, teenage guy trying to smell grown up.
America wakes up with Skin Bracer. Thanks, I needed that.
One splash after shaving, or honestly sometimes without shaving at all, and suddenly somebody smelled like they had borrowed adulthood for the afternoon. Girls noticed these scents more than boys realized. Not because they were subtle, because they absolutely weren't. Number 10. A beat-up car key. Nothing changed a teen boy's energy faster than carrying car keys, especially one worn-out key dangling from a keychain that looked like it had already survived several summers. The car itself might have been old, loud, unreliable, or held together by optimism. Didn't matter. Having access to a car meant freedom. It meant rides after school, late-night fast food, parking lots, music playing through bad speakers, and the possibility of going somewhere without parents involved. And the second a guy casually spun car keys around his finger, girls noticed. Immediately. The funny thing about teenage status is how often it comes from ordinary objects. Jeans, shoes, gum, a jacket, a bottle of aftershave. But in the 1970s, those small things could completely shape how someone was seen the second they walked into a room. And honestly, some of them still work. Everything I featured today is linked in the description below. Go check it out. If this took you back, click the one on your screen. It's all the things 1970s teen boys had that girls always noticed.